Well, it's happening. It already happened.
We're here.
We are here, finally. I cannot believe this. This has been a work in progress.
It really has.
Honey German, I am so excited to do this
Carolina,
with
so am I.
you. This is great. So welcome to Life in Spanglish. And, Honey and I have worked in the same building. We don't directly work with one another.
No.
But we've always kind of like circled around each other. We've sniffed each other's butts a little bit like dogs,
No, for real.
Yeah.
I look at her like, okay, I can mess with her.
Yeah.
Her energy's on point.
Oh, for sure. No, and so we were talking about it. We were just like, what kind of a podcast could we do that would resonate with girls like us? You know what I mean? And I say girls because I'm 40. I still feel like a girl.
You still are a girl.
I'm not very mature, but, my age is. And I was thinking, we have so much insight into the industry and, just as people.
Yeah.
And
I felt like even though we have social media, even though we're both on the air, I feel like our opinions really aren't heard the way they should be heard.
Yeah.
And we don't really get to pick the topics we might necessarily, find dear to our hearts or might want to go in on.
Yeah.
So this makes perfect sense.
And I think that there is definitely a lane for us. And that's where we want to interact with you, the people who have followed us or that wanted a little bit more. You may follow us on social media. I mean, listen, I can barely maintain one account. Honey German has like 27.
I live for that, though.
No, I know, but that's really kind of what sets you apart from a lot of the other people. And I'm so intrigued by that. And I feel like I can learn so much from you. And, we want to take you on this ride and introduce you to people that influence us and, the stories that make us think like, wait a minute, we want to talk about that.
Yeah, and people that make us, feel proud about who we are, where we came from, and what we do, whether it be, a Latino or a Latina or a New Yorker or a fellow, radio personality or media personality. We don't always necessarily get to talk to them on the air. So this will kind of give us a platform, to highlight these people.
Yeah.
And to talk about the topics that me, you, and, other people that live their life in Spanglish might be wanting to talk about.
Which I have to give credit where it's due. So we have to talk about this process, okay? But
please don't get me started on this process.
We have been trying to get this podcast off the ground for, I don't know, maybe half a year. And it was like...
Yes.
Really, it has been. And then it's like, okay, well, let's think of names. So we're throwing names out there.
The amount of names we came up with.
And Andrew, we're going to shout him out now because you're going to have to be a part of the podcast at some point.
Of course.
Because he's the only reason why we could like really get it together. But credit where it's due. Honey thought of this name. And I think it's so perfect because you grew up here in New York. And you are, what's your background again?
I'm Dominican. My parents are Dominican. My dad is from Brooklyn, from Red Hook. But my mom is like an island girl.
Yeah.
Like my mom still does not speak English. She's been in America like 25 years. I'm like, Ma, get it together, please.
I love it.
But God forbid I trash talk her in English. She'd be like, I understand everything you said.
Exactly.
I'm like,
then her English comes out.
Here we go. Now you speak English, don't you?
That's right. Well, see, like now
What about you? Yeah.
Born and raised in Ohio. So what I always like to tell people, it's like the armpit of America. Even though they call themselves the heartbeat. If you look at the shape of Ohio on the United States map, it looks like a heart, right?
Oh, okay.
But we call it the armpit. But it's a beautiful place to have grown up, but not very many Latino families.
What's
in
your
the
background?
Town. Both of my parents are from Nicaragua.
And how did you end up in Ohio?
Long story, but my dad is a pulmonologist.
Okay.
He was in San Francisco and then decided that he had 6 kids and he didn't want to raise his kids in a big city.
Okay.
And so I believe it was like a conference or something that took him out into the Midwest and he was like, you know what? This is where I'm going to settle roots. We call it like, remember when people went in like the covered wagons?
Yes.
And they went out
Little
west?
House on the Prairie type of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
I remember
we
that.
went in a Volvo from San Francisco to Ohio.
What a culture shock that must have been.
I'm telling you, but it's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever known. So that's why I say life in Spanglish for me. It's like growing up as a Latina in a white community, all white, basically. So the only minorities were, African Americans and us. And, so that's where I think I gained like a different kind of perspective.
Oh, yeah. You definitely have a totally different perspective.
And growing up, and that's why coming into New York, it's like, I didn't even feel like I was myself until I went to college, which I mean, we'll have time to get into all of that stuff,
yeah.
But just to give you a little bit of background, because I know that you have your followers who may not know me at all,
100%.
And then I have
But listen,
followers.
this is my friend, so this is now your friend too.
Exactly.
I'm not playing games with you guys. Y'all better love Carolina.
No, but you know what? This is like where we get to be our true, authentic selves.
100%.
And that's what I was like really thinking about what you got to say, because I know that you have your shift, but it's not like you get time to delve into these topics when you're talking up a song. Or,
At all. It's like you're in and out. You might, quickly throw it to the website and pick the story that you might want. But, if you want to talk about these thousands, of immigrants that are stuck trying to get into the U.S., that's not something that I'm going to talk about on the air.
Right.
I might be able to post it on Instagram, but what am I going to do? Go back and forth for hours in the comments, trying to explain my point of view.
Yeah.
At least this gives us, a platform where we can freely talk about, the things that affect us. Some of these stories keep me up at night.
Yeah.
It might be weird to some people, but sometimes like I'll see a story. Like I remember the story with Junior, Justice for Junior. Like my heart was heavy for weeks, and I still can't see anything about that story without it hurting me. And I didn't know these people, but
You felt it.
But I felt it.
Yeah.
These were my people. These were Dominicans. They were from uptown, from the Bronx. Like this is where I grew up, and I didn't talk about it on the air.
Right.
Me and Angie touched on it a couple of times, but I really didn't get to say the reason why I was so vested in that story.
Yeah, but don't you feel like you get judged a little bit for not talking about things like that? Because I know I certainly do. I've gotten feedback from listeners that have said, you have a responsibility as a person in media, as a Latina in media, like to talk about these things. And then, what they don't understand is that it's not that easy.
No, it really isn't. But that's where social media comes in, at least for me. Like I'm really able to control what I want to post and the things that I want to bring to the forefront and to shed light on. That can't be controlled.
Well, that's because that's yours and you own it. And that's the beauty of our social medias,
it is.
So that's why when we work for a company like we do, which we love, and it gives us a platform and an audience, but you do get to kind of like sidebar into those other things.
Yeah.
You just created your own personal page. We should shout out our social media pages.
I'm Honey German on everything. Listen, I've always been really like big into like social media.
Yeah.
So as soon as I hear something is coming, I go park my name. Like I remember Snapchat. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is with this little ghost. I don't know when I'm going to use it.
Right.
But let me park my name.
I was on Meerkat before everybody.
Not Meerkat.
Periscope.
All that good stuff.
Well, everything.
She was streaming on Periscope.
But you have a personal page too.
Yeah, I opened up a personal page. So I'm Honey German on everything. I'm talking like everything. Like I even trademarked that damn name.
Good for you.
But I recently...
But see, that's business.
Yeah,
that is so smart. And that's what a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, no. We're definitely going to get into that. Women in media, how to get started, how to trademark your name, how to secure all your social media accounts. Because it's like we're both here. We know. And we spend the money to meet with lawyers, to meet with trademark companies. So we're going to give you these gems for free.
Right. But nobody helped you. And I can
Nobody. I'm telling like nobody.
Nobody.
This is like built from the ground up. We're going to get into that story.
I feel like it's Keith Sweat. Nobody, like
we need to cue that.
Nobody. Keith Sweat was downstairs, by the way.
I saw him.
I know.
We
did
made
too.
eye contact. I'm like,
I took a selfie and I sent it to my brother. I said, I'm going to make you sweat right now.
that's corny as hell.
And he laughed. He was like, it is so corny. Wait, but he wrote back. He was just like, huge fan.
Aw, that's cute.
But you are, I am Honey German is the personal.
That's my personal page. And for like 8 years, people have been saying like, stop posting so much news. We just want to see you. We just want to see your outfits. Like, we just want to see your hair. And I'm like, okay, guys, but you got to understand, I'm a celebrity news blogger. I'm like a media personality. And everything for me started posting news. But then people become very vested in you as a personality. They want to see what you eat. They want to see what you wear. They want you to be their goals, So I had to open up, I opened up a second page, and it's called I Am Honey German. And it says, no tea, just honey. That's the bio. And, if you just want to see what I wear or what I'm cooking or how I talk to my husband, you can just follow me there.
Or your little chihuahua.
My little chihuahua. She's been around forever.
She's
and it's
so cute.
But she's very overprotective sometimes.
How old is she?
She's 12 already.
We'll get into the whole pet thing too, because I can't even right now with my husband. But on social media, I am the real Carolina. There was an imposter, by the way. There was an imposter a long time ago, because I was actually
about what?
The opposite of you. I was very hesitant to start on social media.
Okay.
So somebody...
I remember we had this conversation like 2 years ago.
Right?
Yes.
And so somebody got in on my name before I could even get it. And so that's the importance now of learning about parking your name and, doing things the right way. And so long story short, this person took my name and started talking smack about the show that I was on at the time.
Oh my God.
As if they were me,
Eesh.
which... I mean, and it was verified by the person who was working here.
They
in
pulled your
digital
ass
at the
into
time.
HR. They were like, come here, let me talk to you.
God, no, I hope not. No, but they were just like, do you know anything about this account? And I was like, I'm not even on Twitter. I was like, I don't even know what it is. I wasn't even on Facebook.
Give me a lie detector test. That's not me.
I did not want anything to do with it. And so that's why at the time, Zena Burns, just an amazing woman, love her. She suggested that I make my page The Real Carolina.
Yeah.
And then she was like, and now we're going to do just everything The Real. She's like, just make it that name
you have
across
to.
the board.
You don't want people to be like, do you have an underscore on Twitter or do you have a one on Instagram? I hate that. I'm like, please get your life together when I see people like that, like media personalities like that.
Cubby. Because he's
one
Cubby.
of those.
He's like Paul Cubby Bryant on one,
I'm
Cubby
judging.
Radio.
Oh, Cubby, I am judging.
I know we got to help my cub. I love him. So no, it's just like there's so many things that we can delve into, so many topics. You know, I'm a mom of 2 little boys. My little boys, Noah and Asher, they're 3 and 5, and they give me a run for my money every single day of my life.
I can imagine.
Asher's taking over the world, by the way, in case you guys didn't know.
He's so adorable.
And
they both are.
Oh, thank you so much. No, but it's like, you know, things have changed and evolved from getting involved in this industry as a young girl, 23 years old. I had no idea, no responsibilities, to now. And I think that it's an ever evolving industry, you know?
It really is. Every single day there's something new.
There's something new.
And I'm really big on digital, and it's like, I was talking to my boss in the digital department because I still work with digital even though I'm on the air.
Right.
And I told him, I'm like, it's crazy because my whole life I've felt like I've been able to master every position I've had. And when it comes to digital and social media, there's no mastering nothing. Every day I'm like, I don't know nothing. Like, I need to be trained again. Like, what is happening?
Right. But for you to say you don't know anything and for somebody, and you're so knowledgeable, that should just kind of like give people a perspective.
Yeah. It changes every single day. Just when you think you know what you're doing on social media, digitally, on your website, how you're writing your articles, all of a sudden there's like an overhaul and they're like, okay, that's not working any longer. The algorithm changed. Facebook is pushing you out. Like every single day we have to learn something. Yeah. So we're definitely going to get, you know, into digital, into social media, into how to get into media. You know, it's so hard. We were just talking about how it's so oversaturated.
Yeah.
In a way, but it truly isn't. How there's so many more positions now that you can create for yourself. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And health, you're really big on health, working out.
I'm a yogi. I love it. And, you know, you just went through a transformation, I know, with your eating and, you know, just dieting in general. And that's something that I absolutely I really do focus and pay a lot of attention on health and wellness. My sister's a registered dietitian, so I get like all of the good stuff from her.
So you got all the gems.
You know what it is? I think that at the end of the day, it's just a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. But I think there are so many more factors that go into it.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk to you a lot about that, especially, you know, being a mom and making time for you to maintain, you know, your health, your fitness, how you look. Because a lot of moms say it's so hard.
That's like sacrifice.
That's like last on the list. And you've been able to be so successful at it. Like,
well, thank you, but no.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Listen, you wear rompers. Not everybody can say they wear romper shorts, okay?
When
and look
do you
good.
Remember my romper?
Listen, I went to a KTU and I was like, oh, hold up.
I did. I wore the romper. I did.
And your legs look amazing.
Thank you,
I'm
girl.
over here fangirling over Carolina.
I
but
love it. No,
we got to talk
sweet.
about that because, you know, a lot of moms say, like, I don't have time for me. And you've been able to, like, juggle and balance it.
It's a challenge. I think no matter what stage you're in, though. You know what I mean? And I do think it's a little bit more challenging for moms just because, you know, of course you put yourself last. But even for you, like, you have 2 jobs. You know what I mean? So I think it's all relative, and it's just the way that you look at it. And it's also just a commitment. It's a commitment to yourself.
No, it really is.
You know?
It really is, because my weight made me very, very unhappy. And I felt like I wasn't reaching new levels. Not that I wasn't reaching new levels. I wasn't going for new levels because I felt like I wasn't going to be comfortable.
Well, it was holding you back.
I was holding me back.
Right.
And it was crazy because, you know, you could pay somebody to do your hair. You could pay somebody to do your nails. You could buy clothes. You can't lose weight unless you commit yourself to it. And I was just like, I'm going to have to do this.
Well, it's how you feel on the inside, too. It's like you project how you feel on the inside. Like the other day, I was scrambling, running around, and I was starving. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like Chick-fil-A was calling my name. And then I was like, I want the spicy chicken sandwich. I'm not even going to do the real chicken. I want the spicy chicken sandwich. And then I just thought to myself, I'm like, you're going to feel like crap after you eat it. Like, you know you want it, but you're going to feel like crap. And so then I was just like, you know what? Hold off. I always have like nuts in my car. That's a whole other joke. No, like almonds. I know. Like, I should be more specific. But I always have that. And I'm I'm like, you know what? This will hold me over until I get home. And when I got home, I was like, those are the little victories.
It is. And it's,
You know?
it's very hard.
That
Like
you didn't cave in.
I've been in drive-thrus and have ordered, and before I make it to the pay window, I just sharp right. I have a Jeep Wrangler, and I go over the divider, and I'm like, I'm not doing this to myself.
Oh, wow.
Like, I've been so good. Let me just stop.
Good for you.
And it's like, it's moments like that, like you
Yeah.
say, where you can get yourself together.
Because those waffle fries, they're no joke.
Bro, the
It's like-
Chick-fil-A sauce. Hello.
That's it.
Hello. But we're definitely going to get, into a lot of topics.
So we were just talking about this the other day. It was actually a topic on our show. And we were talking about intermittent fasting. Have you heard about this?
I've heard of it, and I've tried it.
You did?
I tried it.
Okay, well, because you have a different schedule, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
interested in hearing your take on it. But Jimmy Kimmel, if you guys don't know, he does this intermittent fasting. And so it's basically like, and you can explain it a little bit more at length, honey, but we were talking about different fad diets. Somebody came in and said that they do isogenics and that's changed their life. And then another person said like, oh, I do intermittent fasting. And I'm just so fascinated by the different things that work for different people.
Yeah.
Because I don't follow a diet.
Oh, don't you?
I don't follow.
jealous.
No, you know what it is? It is, and like I said, my sister is a registered dietitian, so it started early on with
Okay.
just her telling me I'm the type of person.
So you're educated in what you eat,
yes, but
which is key.
but frequency.
Okay.
For me is more important because I get up at 3:45 in the morning, and so I get up 3:45 a.m. And my sister told me anyone who wakes up within the first hour, you need to get something in your belly because your body is a machine. So whether it is a Gigi cracker with like peanut butter or almond butter or whatever, something tiny with my cup of coffee just to get me going,
Okay.
that revs up your metabolism.
Okay, makes sense.
So we were talking about all of these different like strategies and things. I have tried every diet out there.
So have I.
And I found that this way that I've just kind of been following ever since I got pregnant the first time and I got back on track is the only way that I can do it.
What do you eat? Like small meals very frequently?
5 small meals a day. Because think about it. I get up at 3:45 and I don't go to bed until 10 o'clock at night. So I don't have time to sit down and have 3 giant meals. I'm
Yeah.
moving.
And I feel like that's not a thing anymore.
It isn't.
People have changed.
Well, you don't even get a lunch break anymore. My girlfriend works for a company uptown or in Midtown, and she says, she's like, I don't even get a lunch hour. She's like, I take my quinoa bowl to my computer,
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
like walk around eating and
Yeah.
stuff. You're like at the copy machine.
Totally.
Eating your food. Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of stuff that celebrities do, including, sometimes surgeries and liposuctions and different things. But when it comes to diet, it's like my whole life has been like one big diet research. And until recently I really wasn't able to pinpoint what it was that I was doing wrong. And it turns out that I was overeating.
Yeah.
So I was eating a lot of food. I was going out to eat to restaurants. I was eating, appetizer, entree, 3 drinks, a dessert.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. I was consuming like 5,000 calories a day.
The drinks are my problem.
Yeah, no, the drinks will
Honest.
definitely do you in.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I definitely indulge and I have at least 1 glass of wine a night. Now, research tells you probably not the best idea, but there are some nights, I mean, not every night, but there are some nights where I'll have like 2 glasses of wine. There are some nights where I won't have any, but I don't neglect anything. Like if I want a piece of chocolate, I'll have a piece of dark chocolate. I'm not going to have the whole bar like I used to, but like I'll have a little piece of it.
And that's the best way to go about it. It's just like I still eat kind of like the things I want, but in very, very small portions.
You got to share. This is
You
the
have
thing
to.
too. The best part is going to dinner with your girlfriends and saying like, you can still have the appetizer and the meal and the dessert if you share
If
it.
you share it, but I was just eating it for myself.
That's right.
I was like,
Greedy.
yeah, exactly. I was like, this is my appetizer, and I don't want to see nobody touching
Exactly.
it. Meanwhile, I already consumed like all the calories I needed to consume just with my appetizer.
Right.
And it's like making that small change. Plus, I stopped going out to eat so much. I was pretty much eating all my meals out, breakfast, lunch, dinner, because I'm always on the go. I have like one day off during the week, and the last thing I want to do is cook.
So then do you prepare food now? Or like what is your deal?
So
like what
yeah,
do you
so I'll prepare small salads and
Yeah.
I'll bring them with me. Before I wasn't doing that. Before I was just like whatever was getting dropped off at the station is what I was eating that day.
Which, by the way, you guys have no idea. Radio stations are like a bottomless pit. The other day we had Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, I'm sorry, you could be the strongest person on the face of the planet, but if a Krispy Kreme goes underneath your nose,
You having it?
that's it.
You're
Forget it.
having
It's I'm not even going to taste it. I'm just going to swallow it whole. Like, that is how I do it. But like, people don't realize that the temptation, because we're constantly getting people coming in that
Yeah.
want us to try their restaurant or things. While we're grateful, people,
Yeah.
it is incredibly challenging.
Like, I always, it's weird because I always compare it to like, if somebody's a crackhead, you put all this crack in front of them, they gonna take it. And that's the same thing.
Every last bit.
With me with the food. I'm like, I told my husband, stop bringing all this delicious food here
I
because I'm
know.
going to want to eat it. It's just like, at one point, I feel like my food was like an addiction.
Yeah.
And it just felt good. And, you know, it stems from like a lot of different childhood things that we'll get into, you know, later on.
Yeah.
You know, cooking has always been like a form of like expressing love, especially in the Latin community.
Sure.
You know, grandma wants you to eat all the food. Mom wants you to eat all the food. If you
Clean
go to
plate club.
Tia's house, you better eat everything, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
Exactly. You want another serving? You know, and
Mira, está hermosa. Qué linda. Yeah, and you're like, okay, yeah. So basically you're telling me I'm fat.
oh, well, forget
You know?
it. Don't get me started on,
I know.
I hate going back to the island because they'll be like, ay, Dios mío, tú sí estás gorda. Like, oh, okay, thank you, because I didn't know I had to buy size 14 shorts before I came here. You don't need to tell me how fat I am.
That's the greeting.
is the
too. And it's
greeting.
like, oh, you don't want to know how I've been for the past 10 years
Oh,
because
no.
I haven't been here?
Oh,
like,
no.
yeah, you're basically just telling me that I'm
That
overweight.
does not matter.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a struggle too, because it's like, as I feel like the same way, our kitchen is the center of our home.
It is, yeah.
And so I'm always in the kitchen. I'm always cooking because I think it's important, especially with my two boys. A lot of people say to me, there's no way you do it all. No, you don't do it all. And I don't cook every day, and I'm not going to like tell you this story, but what I do is I plan on Sundays for the days that I can cook.
Okay, and that's amazing.
And you know what? The slow cooker, Instapot, you have to educate yourself.
That oven is clutch, bro. You could throw anything in the oven and come back in 45 minutes and it's ready.
And it is ready. But you know what? That's the thing. It's like we're a society that just wants everything like laid out for us. Here it is instantly. And it's like, that's not the way it works.
Well, yeah,
you got to put in the work, you know?
And a lot of people don't want to. Let's say
Yeah.
peeling potatoes. I'm not peeling potatoes. But I do want mashed potatoes. So it's like, what are we doing here?
Okay. So I think a lot of people and I had mentioned this to you, that I've started following a specific like way of eating after I had my children.
Uh-huh.
I think the issue that a lot of women have is that we look at these Instagram, you know, celebrities, and we see them after they pop out a baby. I mean, listen, look at Cardi B right now. Is like, her snapback is crazy. What you don't know is that she has a team of doctors probably, or, you know, and I'm not accusing Cardi.
Or she was a 25-year-old stripper who was in real good shape to begin with.
And exactly, there you go. That's the
Cardi had
history there
abs,
for you.
bro.
Absolutely.
Don't sleep. Cardi was in good shape before she got knocked up.
Absolutely.
And she
I
bounced right back.
And that has a lot to do with it. But then you look at people like, and again, I'm not accusing Cardi of having that, but like people like Kim Kardashian that keep it on the low, what they really do, and then they pretend like they're drinking tea or they're doing this or
That's
that. Like,
super reckless. The whole like promoting lollipops and teas and things when you know that's not how you lost weight.
and tell the truth. That's the thing. It's like, for me, it took me a good 6 to 9 months. I said it took me 9 months to make my baby. It took me a year to take it off.
And I'm going to tell you this, Carolina, like I've been married 2 years and I want to start a family.
You're still a newlywed.
I know.
Aw, you guys still like each other.
We do. But I'm like so afraid of having a baby because what if I can't snap back?
Yeah.
Or what if it's like, oh my God, I gained 80 pounds and like, how do I take it off? So those type of things even keep me from like starting a family. The whole like, how am I going to be after post baby?
I appreciate your honesty there, because I think a lot of people could attack somebody for saying something like that. Well, you just want a healthy baby. Who cares what you look like? No, you know what?
I'm telling
Being a
you
woman,
what's stopping me.
right. And that's the honest to God truth. But you know, you're also under an intense amount of scrutiny. And so
100%.
that's
Once you become a media or a public figure, it's like people want you to also look like a celebrity. And
even though we're not.
And you're not, and you don't have the damn budget. You know how stressful that is? Like,
No.
yeah, you're going to interview Mariah Carey, but you don't got Mariah Carey money.
No,
Listen,
hell
my
no.
bundles are not $3,000.
I need filters on filters. Like, I need her filters plus more filters. No, and that's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the thing that I would tell you is that, I mean, just from my perspective, and just, I'm not giving you advice, I'm telling you how I would do it. I would think more about the joy that you're going to get from starting your family than the hardship that it's going to take for you to take all of that weight off.
I know.
It isn't easy, and I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I had to go through intense physical therapy. I had back surgery after my first son. I mean, I went through
Wow.
it. I went through it.
But it's
And-
possible because here you are.
But it is possible, and you know what it is? It takes a lot of discipline, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of support. So your husband and your family truly takes a village.
And then I feel like also, you know, with the whole like being Dominican, it's like I'm going to want these Dominican foods. And I'm
But
just
that's
going
the
to.
time to do it,
I
girl.
know it is, but then it's
That
like,
is the
okay, if
time.
I'm having mango and salami and fried cheese for breakfast, brah, what am I having for lunch?
Whatever you want. No,
All that stuff worries me, Carolina.
Don't worry about it. You know what? And I will walk you through it. And when we are going to have our baby, because I say we because we're going to have it together. You know what? It's going to be the most amazing experience. And that is one thing that I will tell you as a woman that, you know, I truly never understood until I got pregnant. I really
That's what everybody
didn't.
tells me. They're like, listen, you don't know what love is.
You
That
don't get
dog
it.
and that husband of yours, that's not love. Wait till you have a child, then you'll love somebody.
I heard a saying once that your child is the only person who knows what your heartbeat sounds like from the inside. And I know even Andrew's going to cry over here, our producer.
Even the people across from us
Helen
can't hear what we're
Little
saying.
is-
She's about to cry.
No, but it's the truth. And you know, that connection is undeniable. I tell my boys every single day, I get up at 3:45, like I mentioned. I'm not there to put them on the bus, but I'm there to get them off.
Aww.
And I'm there to take them to all of their activities. And whenever I leave them, I always say to Noah and Asher, I love you with my whole heart. Because they're the only ones who know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it is a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's not superficial, but you know, it's something that you can tackle.
Yeah.
And I'm here to help you tackle it.
Tackle and overcome.
Yeah.
You know, it may sound shallow to some, but when you've struggled with your weight your whole entire
I don't want
life.
people, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, when you've struggled with your weight your whole entire life and then you finally kind of like get it together, it's just like, oh, what now? I lost 40 pounds. What am I going to do? Am I going to gain 60? It's like, ooh,
or how
Jesus
do
Christ.
How do I get back there? You know, my body has never been the way that it was before I got pregnant.
Okay.
And I always say it's better now. Like I have hips.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
I mean, I don't have much, you know.
Nah, you're good.
And I have my husband says I suffer from noacetol because I have no ass.
And here I have like pounds and pounds unnecessarily.
I would borrow parts of your ass.
I give you half of my ass, bro.
Please. And that would, like, seriously, that would like help fill me out a little bit. But you know, I always say it's like, you know, they made me better in so many ways.
That's dope.
And so you're going to see that. But I feel like we were all over the place, but that's okay because this is what it is.
Listen, people are going to get really like a good sense of who we are and the things that are important to us. And I want to stress the fact that we're so different, yet we connect so much. It's like from where we are, our backgrounds, the type of husbands we have, the family dynamics that we have. Everything is so different. And that's one of the main reasons I felt like we would be perfect for each other.
I love it. And also you can, like I mentioned, we hit our social medias.
Yeah.
Let us know. What do you want us to talk about? Are there people that you're interested in that you want us to interview?
Yeah,
or that
listen,
you
we
want
can
us to
pull some
talk to?
strings. We can get them up here.
Yeah, I mean, I have no connections. I'll just tell
Carolina
you
got
right
all
now.
the connections. Don't let her fool you, okay?
No
She got all the
connections.
connections.
Listen, if you need like somebody that goes, if you need Kids Bop, I'm your girl. But other than that,
You want to know the hottest rap album? Talk to me.
That's it. I do. I definitely do. So
got
no, get us on DMs or social media.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just so excited to start on this journey with you, honey. And
I really am.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to give a voice, you know, to the, you know, first generation Latina with the immigrant parents that did grow up speaking Spanglish, that still speak Spanglish, you know, and all the things that worry us, and you know, the things that we find important, whether it be, you know, not being represented on television, or whether it be immigration issues, or you know, our kids being lost when they're separated from their parents.
Yeah,
we're going to be able to tackle all those things. And I have a couple of politicians, real young Latinas that speak Spanglish that I definitely want to sit down for us to talk to.
I cannot wait. And
we're
I
going to
think
make this happen.
This is going to be an important time for us to educate.
And Cardi needs to come up here too, because she's a whole life in Spanglish herself.
I just want to be besties with her. That's all I care about. Okay.
I got you.
All right. Perfect. So then just make sure that you guys stay tuned and keep listening, and we'll do this together.
Follow us so that we can stay connected and be friends. Honey German on everything.
And I'm the real Carolina.
Till next time.